Well, it finally happened. FromSoft has released a hotfix for all the broken stuff that the community has been discussing in the past few days, named Patch 1.12.3. Most of the changes were fixing issues with stuff that was unintentionally overpowered, but enough chit-chat. Let's get into the juicy stuff already. Let's first address the only PvP exclusive change in the game. Swift Slash has been nerfed. Decreased the damage and damage animation of the shearing vacuum effect of the Swift Slash skill. This is what the attack does now. And this is what the attack used to do. If you have a functioning brain, you will notice that the second part of the attack does not stagger you anymore. Which is definitely a plus. The problem is, the attack is still cancer. The first part of the attack still comes out very fast, while the vacuum effect will still hit you if you roll the first attack. While this was a change in the right direction, the thing still needs some tuning, so we'll just have to wait. For the general balance changes, the range of the Smith script daggers and the Smith script circ throwing attacks was increased. I mean, that's kind of cool, I suppose. Alright, now the part that everyone's been waiting for. It's time to address the bug fixes. First of all, the strongest attack in Elden Ring history.
Yikes.
The Perfume Weapons exclusive Ash of War, called Rolling Sparks, used to deal a metric ton of damage when aimed to the ground. This was due to concentrating all the hitboxes in one specific place, as the intended use of the Ash of War was to aim it forward and deal damage in a straight line. With the new changes, when aimed to the ground, only one hitbox of the attack will remain. Dealing very little damage. On top of that, a bug was fixed where the Lightning Perfume and Frenzy Perfumes would deal double damage under certain conditions. We don't know what those conditions were, but one thing is for certain, the biggest nuke in Elden Ring history is gone. There was a bug with left-handed projectiles, where the projectile thrown with the left hand would apply any additional effects that were coated in the right hand. The most prominent example of this was the Nanaya's Torch glitch, where you could apply both Deathblight and Madness at the same time with it.
Oh look, you've been impaled.
The other more prominent example, which we didn't get to cover before the patch, was that the Smith script shield had the same bug as Nanaya's Torch. The Ash of War of the Smith script shield has you throw the shield. And this attack would inflict any status effect coated in your right hand, including buffs like Royal Knight's Resolve, giving this thing a ton of damage. All of these memes are now gone. Which is fantastic. Our next bad boys on the list are the same pointy bastards we covered in our last video, the thrusting shields. Thrusting shields function similarly to shield poking, where you can both attack and defend at the same time. Kinda like the Thundercross split attack from Phantom Blood. The issue was that regular shield poking would cause you to receive big stamina damage when blocking. whereas thrusting shields had a bug where almost no stamina damage was received when doing shield poking.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
This meme was, of course, fixed.
Perfect, good job. Good job.
Thrusting shields now receive normal stamina damage when performing the shield poke. However, when using shield grease, the damage is still heavily mitigated, so unlike the Thundercross split attack, it may not be completely Jova for these bad boys. The Bloodfiend's arm, also known as the chicken leg, is regarded as one of the strongest PvE weapons due to its insane bleed build-up. Scumnut demonstrated this quite well in his video on the subject.
Oh my god. You're not gonna waterfowl, are you? Please don't get it off.
According to the patch notes, the arcane scaling of the weapon was reduced and the bleed effect of the special heavy attack was moderated. However, we don't really see the changes. Granted, wearing heavier armor will prevent an insta-bleed. But the weapon still seems quite interesting, both for PvE and PvP. Further testing will probably determine how much the weapon was really changed. Now, the part of the video that hurts us the most, our beloved Fire Knight's greatsword. For those of you living under a Cheetos bag, the Fire Knight greatsword was the undisputable best weapon in the game since the DLC's release. This was because of its unique characteristic of basically being a Dark Souls 3 weapon. All of the weapons in Elden Ring can only hit you once before you can roll out of danger. The ones that can hit you more than once with regular attacks by doing some gimmick tricks, like the Knight's Greatsword for example, are usually not intended, and these 2 or 3 hit combos are called true combos. With the Fire Knight's Greatsword, nearly everything was a true combo. This delightful feature of the weapon was just patched out of the game. And we are already missing it.
Not you too! I'm so sorry!
The final relevant bug fix was going to be featured in our next video, which was already in the making. Sadly though, we didn't get a chance to cover it in depth, so we are going to give you a brief summary of the whole thing. For some reason, the scaling of Smith script weapons was utterly If you infused any Smith script weapon with non-elemental infusions, such as keen or heavy, there wasn't anything relevant in the picture. However, if you gave them any sort of intelligence or faith-based elemental infusions, the scaling of the weapon was bugged. Not only would it give you great elemental damage, but also great physical damage. 2 great damage scalings for the price of only 1 stat. This would lead to Smith script weapons dealing way higher damage than intended, and this was a big problem for things like Swift Slash on the Smith script Cirque, power stancing on the Smith script Spear, and offhanding on the Smith script Axe. With this new patch, the goofy R-scaling of Smith script weapons is basically gone. But the damage of some of them is still not that bad, like the axe for example. I think that we are going to keep this bad boy. And that's pretty much it for this patch, I guess. As always, we will leave the patch notes in the video's description in case you want to take a quick look and judge by yourself. So yeah, that's it. Bye.